So, on Mac, he wasn't good in this game. And I thought, first of all, I thought he was terrible. On film, it wasn't quite as bad. Obviously, he missed Johnny Smith on a touchdown. He missed Jacoby Myers in the seam. Those are plays you got to have. And,
right.
It's not good. And with the state of this offense, like, it makes people even more desperate and stands out even more, even though quarterbacks miss those kind of plays, just about every week. Derek Carr must have missed about 6 of those plays in this game. He was terrible. And by the way, if you put Mac Jones at the end of last season on this Raiders team, the Raiders would have won that game going away. So let me just say that. But there's so much bad going on in this offense that it's not totally Mac's fault. Like I talked about the routes, the spacing, it's just not there. Having to go to Thornton instead of not having Kendrick Bourne. I don't understand those decisions. They make no sense to me. But I thought he was totally out of control during the goal line situation. If I were the coach of the team, I probably would have benched him at halftime just for that, because I think he cost the team points because he was so out of sorts and just so mad. And I understand, Thornton on the Johnny Smith incompletion, Thornton didn't run his route exactly correct. No excuse. He still should have made the play 10 times out of 10. Then on the next down, when he threw the in cut to Aguilar, Ramondre Stevenson was in the wrong area. He ran his route wrong and ran a linebacker right into the play. Plus, Aguilar doesn't fight inside. I understand why he's upset. Belichick calls the timeout on when they actually do execute something on the goal line. He's mad about that. Then he comes over the sideline. He's flipping out. He doesn't want to listen to anybody. And then he comes out, and because he's so amped up, he doesn't wait for Jonnu Smith to get set and false starts, and that's the end of the drive. And so Mac Jones is a mess at this point. He is. I think he's broken. I don't think Belichick has any other options. I think if he does replace him, and it doesn't matter, this is not a Bailey Zappi thing. I'm not talking about Bailey Zappi being the Patriots starting quarterback. I'm just not. If somebody wants to talk about that, go nuts. Go make your own podcast. But I'm not talking about it because I think it's utterly ridiculous. I'm just talking about, I don't think Belichick can do anything about it, because I think guys like Hunter Henry and David Andrews and Jacoby Myers, I think those guys are barely hanging on by a thread at this point. And if Bill benched Mac, I think he's completely lost them.
Yeah, I mean, Jonathan Vilma was talking about that specifically during that goal line situation, about how Mac has become too animated. And look, I had no issue going back to Mac in the Buffalo game where he had enough of the Matt Patricia stuff, and he let loose for really the first time that we saw as much as he did. He had a little bit of it during the Arizona game, and I thought Troy Aikman said, I kind of understand that he's frustrated, and I get it, and sometimes those frustrations show. I do think we're now at that line, and I do think it was, a bit much on Sunday, especially during that goal line scenario, because as you said, Greg, it did kind of take him out of his sorts, and
yep.
it affected directly the QB sneak play that cost them points. And, you make that play, you win the game. It's as simple as that. So I understand. Look, I'm not saying he shouldn't be frustrated. We just talked about Matt Patricia. I just lost my mind about Matt Patricia, and I'm not working with the guy day to day and having to deal with his awful play calling and game planning. So I understand the frustration, but when you're the quarterback, you're the leader out there, and it's your job to get everybody kind of on the same page, and especially emotionally, what's happening because of the bad play calling and all that stuff, that's happening, and everybody sees it and feels it. But you can't allow that to start getting you out of yourself. And one of the things that we talked about with Mac coming out of Alabama, and we talked about this during his rookie season, was his poise, his maturity, his poise, his ability to handle big moments. He didn't get too high. He didn't get too low. And we're starting to see it now where this guy is just fed up, and he's letting it affect his comportment on the field, and he's letting it affect now, some of the results of those plays.